Your best friend leans over your shoulder and reads 7 digits glowing on your phone screen. You have 1 second to lock it. You inherited $20 million 48 hours ago, and in that single second, telling anyone changes everything. The money is real. The silence around it is about to break. But the most dangerous part of inheriting that much isn't the number. It's what happens to every person who finds out. To understand why a single glance can unravel a fortune, you have to go back to the morning. The email arrived, an ordinary Tuesday, coffee cooling on your desk, your rent 3 days late. You're sitting in your apartment. The kitchen tap drips. Your phone buzzes with a message from a law firm you've never heard of. You almost delete it. The subject line says, "Estate notice." You open it, and the words rearrange your entire life. A relative you met twice has died. You are the sole beneficiary. The number is $20 million. Your hands are shaking, not from excitement, from the sudden weight of a secret this large. You read the email 3 times. Then you close your laptop and stare at the dripping tap, because your brain needs something small to hold on to while it processes something enormous. Here's the first thing nobody tells you about sudden money. The moment you have it, you become a target. Not because people are evil, but because need is honest. Everyone around you has problems. You now have the solution to all of them. And that changes the geometry of every relationship you have before you've spent a single dollar. So what do you do first? You don't call your family. You don't tell your roommate. You don't post anything. You sit with it. You breathe. And then you start making phone calls to people who are paid to keep secrets. The first call is to an estate attorney. The firm on the email gives you a name, a woman named Claire, who handles high net worth transitions. She picks up on the second ring. Her voice is calm. She's done this before. She tells you 3 things in the first 90 seconds. 1. Do not tell anyone. 2. Do not move the money yet. 3. Come into the office tomorrow morning and bring nothing. That night, you don't sleep. Your phone is face down on the nightstand. Your roommate, Kevin, knocks on your door to ask if you want pizza. You say you're not hungry. He shrugs and walks away. You listen to his footsteps and realize that this right here is the last moment where your friendship with Kevin is uncomplicated. He doesn't know. Nobody knows. And the question is whether that can last. The next morning, you sit across from Claire in an office with no nameplate on the door. She's drawn a timeline on a whiteboard. The inheritance has to pass through probate. There are estate taxes. There are transfer structures. There are trusts you can set up to keep your name out of public records. She explains each one in plain language, and you realize that the legal system gives you tools to stay invisible, but only if you act before anyone learns. The money exists. She asks you a question that stops you cold. Who in your life would you trust with $20 million? Not with the money itself, with the knowledge that you have it. You think about Kevin. You think about your mother, who is still paying off a medical debt. You think about your sister, who has been struggling to keep her business alive. Each name feels like a door. Once you open it, you can never close it again. You leave Claire's office with a folder and a plan. Step 1. Set up a revocable trust to receive the funds. Step 2. File for a name change on all public-facing documents related to the estate. Step 3. Create a spending structure that funnels money through an LLC, so your personal name never appears on a property record or a vehicle registration. The goal isn't to hide. The goal is to make sure the money doesn't arrive in your life as an event. It arrives as a quiet fact, But here's where it gets hard. You go home. Kevin is on the couch watching a game. He asks how your morning was. You say fine. You sit down next to him and watch the game for 20 minutes, and the entire time you are holding a secret that could pay off his student loans, his car, his parents' mortgage, and he has no idea. The weight of that silence is physical. Your chest feels tight. You excuse yourself and go to your room. Over the next 2 weeks, you meet with a tax advisor, a financial planner, and a security consultant. The tax advisor tells you that with proper structuring, the estate tax exposure can be reduced significantly, but only if the trust is in place before the funds transfer. The financial planner walks you through a conservative portfolio that would generate enough passive income to replace your salary several times over without touching the principal. The security consultant is the one who surprises you. He says the biggest risk isn't a stranger. It's someone you already know. He's seen inheritances destroyed by a single text message to the wrong person. He recommends you move to a new address within 60 days. He recommends you change your phone number. He recommends you create a cover story for where your income is coming from. A modest job, a small business, something believable. You follow most of it. You sign the trust documents. You set up the LLC. You open accounts at a bank where nobody knows you. The money begins to move in stages, not as a single dramatic deposit, but as a series of quiet transfers that never appear on any statement your roommate could glimpse. And then you make a mistake. It's small. It's so small you don't even catch it for 3 days. You buy a new mattress. Your old one has a crater in the middle, and you've been meaning to replace it for a year. You order one online, a good one, but not absurd. The problem is the delivery. The truck arrives on a Saturday morning when Kevin is home. 2 men carry a mattress in a premium brand box through the front door. Kevin sees the label. He looks at you. He says, "That's a nice mattress." You say it was on sale. He nods, but you see the arithmetic happening behind his eyes. Your rent is late every month. You drive a car that needs a new transmission. And you just bought a premium mattress. He doesn't say anything else, but the air in the apartment has shifted. You feel it that night, a low hum of suspicion where there used to be ease. Kevin starts paying closer attention. He notices you coming home from meetings in clothes that look newer. He notices you stopped checking the price of groceries. He hasn't asked the question yet, but he's circling it. You call Claire. You tell her about the mattress. She doesn't laugh. She says, "This is exactly how it starts. One detail out of pattern. One purchase that doesn't match the life people expect from you." She says, "You have 2 choices. You can tighten the mask, cut spending, keep driving the broken car, let the old mattress stay. Or you can control the story by telling one person on your terms with boundaries." You think about Kevin. He's been your closest friend for 9 years. He covered your rent twice when you were between jobs. He drove you to your father's funeral. If anyone has earned the right to know, it's him. But Claire's warning echoes. Once he knows, he can never not know. Every favor he asks will carry a question. Every time he struggles, he'll wonder why you aren't helping. And every time you do help, the relationship tilts further away from friendship and toward dependency. So what would you have done? Here's what you do. You sit Kevin down on a Sunday afternoon. You tell him you came into some money. You don't say how much. You don't say from where. You tell him you're setting up your life in a new way and that you wanted him to hear it from you and not from a detail that didn't add up. You tell him you're moving out in 30 days. You tell him you'll cover 2 months of his rent so he has time to find a new roommate. And then you stop talking. Kevin is quiet for a long time. He asks how much. You say enough. He asks if you're okay. You say yes. He nods slowly. And something passes between you that you can't take back. Not anger, not jealousy, a recalibration. He's happy for you. He's also afraid of you now. Not physically. He's afraid of what your existence means for his. Because standing next to someone who has escaped the gravity of money makes everyone else feel the pull more sharply. You move out. You rent a modest apartment under the LLC. You keep your old car for 6 more months, then replace it with something unremarkable. You set up automatic payments to your mother's medical debt through a third party so she never traces it back to you. You hire a lawyer to send your sister a letter informing her that an anonymous investor has funded her business, enough to keep it alive, not enough to change how she runs it. No one in your family knows the full picture. No one ever will. You attend Thanksgiving.